Hey guys, this is Tuesday's lesson. Yesterday we talked about how to read numbers correctly using the word and when you see a decimal. We also talked about the place of each of these digits. So the 5 is in the tenths, the 9 is in the hundredths, so on and so forth. We also talked about if these were all the same digit, for example, if these were all sevens, and the first 7 we would say is 10 times larger than the one to its right. If this were a 70, we would say 70 is 10 times greater than 7. Going the opposite way, we would say that if this was a 7 and this was a 7, we would say that this digit is 1/10 the value of the number in the tenths spot. Okay, so hopefully that rings a bell because that was what our lesson was about yesterday. So today we're going to talk about comparing decimals all the way out to the thousandths place. So remember all of these numbers to the right of the decimal, they all end in THS. So when we compare decimals, we are using the less than sign, the greater than sign, or we can sometimes use the equal sign. Okay, those are the same symbols you use when you are comparing whole numbers. So once again, here is this chart that I showed you yesterday. So also like comparing whole numbers, we start comparing numbers using their largest place value spot. Let's look at some examples. So here we have two numbers. We have 489 and 87 hundredths compared to 482 and 87 hundredths. Well, you start in the largest place value. So both of those has a 4 in the hundreds place. The next, then we're going to the right. So now we're comparing the eights. Both of them have 10, 8 tens, 8 tens. And so finally, the first digit that's different is the ones place. So since this is 9 ones and this is 2 ones, we know that this number is less than this number. Or another way of saying that is 489 and 87 hundredths is greater than 482 and 87 hundredths. Both numbers have a 4 in the hundreds place, so we move to the tens place. Right? And so you go one place value at a time. So let's look at this number. This number, we have 2s in the tens place. So next we compare the ones place. Yep, there's 6s in the ones place. So next we go to the tenths place. So both of them have a 4 in the tenths place. So we're going to move on to the hundredths place. They both have 5s in the hundredths place. So the first digit that's different is in the thousandths place. Since 7 thousandths is less than 9 thousandths, we know that 26 and 457 thousandths is less than 26 and 459 thousandths. So that's our less than sign. All right, so if I had these on a piece of paper, I find that the easiest thing for me to do is just to write them on top of each other, lining up those decimals. So I would write 56.034. On the next one, I'm lining up that decimal. So then I'm going to have 560.34. Then I have 560, oops. 0.034, and then the last one is just 56.3. Now, one trick you can do is any place that has a missing digit, you can just fill those in with zeros if you want to. You don't have to, but you can add zeros to the front of numbers and the end of numbers behind the decimal, and it does not change the value of the digit. Okay, so now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to compare the hundreds place. Well, since 0 is less than 5, we know that this number and this number, those are both the smallest numbers. So let's deal with those first. So first I'm going to compare the hundreds place. Then we're going to go to the tens place. They're the same. Next we're going to go to the ones place. And then finally we get to the tenths place. Since 0 is less than 3, we know that this is the smallest number. So we're going to write these in order from least to greatest. Now, one common mistake is people would look at this list and immediately make a observation that, well, this number has the most digits, so it's got to be the biggest number, and this number has the least number of digits, so it's got to be the smallest number. And that's not true. So when we're done ordering these, you'll find that neither of those statements is correct. So we do know that this is the smallest digit. That means this one comes next, the one at the bottom, 56 3/10. All right, we're done with those. So now we're moving to the two middle numbers here. So we're going to compare the hundreds, the tens, the ones, and now we get to the tens place. Once again, since 0 is less than 3, we know that this number comes next. Even though it has the most digits, it's actually smaller than the number above it. So in third place, we have 560 and 34 thousandths. And then the biggest number is 560. My pen doesn't want to work. 560 and 34 hundredths. So now we have ordered those numbers from least to greatest. All right, let me erase all this and we will move on. All right, so now you guys try. I want you to pause the video and I want you to answer these questions. All righty, so what inequality sign did you guys come up with? Greater than, less than, or equal to? Well, that would be greater than. Yay, round of applause for you. All right, what about these two numbers? So we have 12 and 94 thousandths compared to 12 and 91 thousandths. What do you guys think? What'd you come up with? Yep, greater than. Once again, the first digit that's different is the thousandths place. All right, what about these two numbers? All right, don't be tricked on this one. Is the number with the most digits always the biggest? Well, in this situation it is, because if we added a digit here, it would be a 0, and 0 is less than 3. So our inequality is less than. All right, what about this one? Is the number with the most digits always the biggest? Nope, it is not. This number, 5 thousandths, is less than 6 hundredths. Whoops, did I miss it? It's less than. You got it, dude. All right, did I get to the end? All right, that's it, you guys. We did all of them. So now you have an assignment to do for today. So you guys let me know if you have any questions and I will get right back to you if you send me a Canvas inbox message and I will check in with you guys later.